Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Bali. It is 3:24 a.m. in the morning. It's Wednesday, May 7th here. And yes, I am up extremely early, which for the most part feels pretty natural for me. I am an early riser. I'm usually up at the crack of dawn back home in Memphis. Not Memphis, Jesus Christ. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, I know I'm originally from Memphis, and I moved to Pine Bluff, Arkansas for college. After college, I then moved to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I lived in Little Rock, Arkansas for like 20 plus years, something like that. And then I moved to Charlotte. It was actually 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago on May the 2nd of this year. So, yeah, celebrating my Charlotte anniversary, I guess you can say. Um, but last night was a hoot. Me and my homegirl Tania went. We went to I guess you can kind of say the beach, but we're here in the resort, so there's a place where you can just go and get your drinks, and you can just sit down and view the ocean and just sit outside and just chill, right? And they also had hookah on the menu, and I was like, oh hell yeah, like bring the hookah. So she had like 5 drinks and a shot. I had two Long Island iced teas, and then this drink from Bali that everybody loves. It's like their staple drink and a shot. But I also had 2 rounds of hookah. So we were off the chain, but she was off the chain more than I was. Long story short, we were very, very, very good and tipsy. And so I was like, "You want to go walk on the beach?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so we got on the beach, and she realized that she left her purse. So she's like, "Oh my God, I left my purse." And she's like, "I gotta go back and get it." And I was like, "Okay." Like a part of me was like, "Please go with her because she's gonna fall in some type of way. Something is gonna happen." I just felt it, but I didn't act on my gut. Or I at least should have said, "Hey, take your time, pay attention, please don't fall." Didn't listen to my gut, and I'm just looking at the ocean because it's kind of dark at night. And next thing I know, I turn around and she is on the concrete. Like, it is 3:24 in the morning. It is still. I turned around and she was like a turtle on its back, like legs just moving on the ground. All I see is a security guard running towards her, like, "Ma'am, ma'am." And I'm like, "Did this fool really fall?" So she falls, they get her, and she says one lady was on the, like, in a chair saying, "Too many drinks, too many drinks." And I was laughing because I'm like, "Yeah, way too many drinks." So she finally gets back down to the beach where I was, and she's walking towards the water. And I'm like, "Friend, don't get too close to the water because of the current. It's at night, can't really see." Next thing you know, she's hollering because she has on Nike flip flops, right? Nike slides. The current, like the water went to her foot and took one of her Nike slides. Now she is screaming like, "There go my slide, it's right there, it's right there, it's right there." And I'm like, "No, friend, do not go out there because it looks like that Nike slide is right there, but you're gonna get close out there, your foot is gonna sink in that sand, and that wave is gonna come up and it's going to pull your ass in the ocean. Do not do it." So she's constantly trying to just go get this slab because she is just in her feelings. And I'm like, "No." And so she decided to leave the slide. And there are videos on my Instagram, and it's kind of like we have this song in the U.S. called "Boots on the Ground," and the song asks the question, "Where them fans at?" And I was like, "Where them slides at?" And she was doing a boots on the ground dance, and we were just hollering and having a good time. And so she's walking with one flip flop on, one flip flop off. And so we get in the pool, and we're just like, let's just sit in the pool and just talk. And so we ended up just having a good conversation, talking about life, talking about family, um, talking about, you know, what life looks like for us getting back to Charlotte. What do we want our lives in Charlotte moving forward to look and feel like? You know, what do we need as people? What do we need as friends? And you know, releasing stories, releasing patterns, and we really dived deep into truly wanting people to be different, truly wanting people to treat us right, to love us right, to have a level of understanding and respect for us that we have for them, um, and how it hurts when people hurt us and we've not done anything, said anything, or put them in predicaments for them to treat us like that. And that was a really healthy and needed conversation because it pushed me to understand and to pay a lot of attention to people that I hang around, people that I choose to hang around, um, and just how I truly, truly, truly value myself. And before she actually came to my room to go out yesterday, I was watching the R&B Money podcast with Tank and Jay Valentine, and their guest was Tyrese. Tyrese, yeah, yeah. I have to get into R&B Money podcast because whenever Tyrese is on there, they always talk about how he introduces himself on stage and he sings and he hits this little run, and they be tearing Tyrese up. But I was listening to Tyrese talk about they were in the group R&B Money. I mean not R&B Money, TGT. I'm sorry, and it was Tyrese, Genuine, and Tank. And Tank was explaining how at one point in time um, he thought that that Tyrese was trying to get ahead of them or to be more than them, um, in the group when it came down to money, business, finances, deals, and things of that nature. And a lot of people think that Tyrese is a diva. They think that he is very cocky. Um, but in that interview, Tyrese said something that completely changed my mind. He said that there's a difference with being humble and disappearing. He said, yes, we want to be grateful for things. Yes, we want to be humble. But when you are so humble that it gets to a point where you completely disappear in a room, you've lost the true meaning of what it means to be humble. Humble means being grateful for what you have, but not so grateful that you just accept any and everything simply because you're happy to be invited, you're happy to be considered, you're happy to be thought of. And that stuck with me. I was like, hmm. He said, that's why he demands a salary of certain projects. That's why he demands certain things in his contracts. And he said because when he first broke into the industry, he was so happy and excited for any deal that he got. He was so happy for any deal that he got. Didn't matter what it was, a t-shirt ad, clothing ad, a cologne ad, just anything, because he was just excited to be a part of the conversation, happy to just be thought of, happy to just be considered. Whatever the salary was, whatever amount they were offering, he was like, you know what, yep, that's fine. He didn't want to rock the boat, until he started to see that When people see that you'll just accept anything because they see and feel and feed off of you just being happy to be invited, they will start to lowball you. And he says the moment that he realized that he was worth more and that he knew his value and that his value was more and that he understood that I've been humble long enough. Now it's time for me to get my things and everything that I'm owed, and I can't waver from that. I have to stand firmly on that. And he says he asked Vin Diesel because Tyrese, Vin Diesel, they do the Fast and the Furious movies, and Tyrese said that he hasn't made it to the $200 million club, which means that um, you get a $200 million deal to do a movie. He says he hasn't gotten there yet. He says, but he asked Vin Diesel, how do you get to the $200 million club? And he said Vin Diesel told him, honestly, I got to the $200 million club by saying no more than saying yes. Saying no more than I was saying yes. And that was like, eye-opening. Tyrese reminds me a lot of my brother Mackenzie. And how Tank and Tyrese and Jay Valentine act, it makes me think of my brother, because me and my brother be having so many little funny times when we get on the phone and we talk. I love my brother. And that whole conversation with Tank, Tyrese, and Jay Valentine made me think about a lot of things. And for me, I have been humble for years. Yeah, I've been humble for years. I've been humble for years. Um, just being okay with whatever is offered to me, however I'm being considered. Whatever you want to give, whatever you want to do is fine. And not demanding what I am owed. Even in friendships, even in relationships. Just saying like, hey, you know what? That doesn't work for me. And even in moments, you know what? Even in moments when I do say, hey, this doesn't work for me, still having this fear and this pinch of like energy that I don't want to rock the boat. I hope I didn't make them mad. I hope they understand. Like, but just like not being able to say, yeah, that's what I mean, that's what I say, and I'm sorry, that's what it is. And I feel that that conversation or that segment that I watched yesterday was something that needed to be said. I demand respect. I demand to be treated well. I demand accountability. There are times where I demand an apology because I am owed that. I am owed an apology. I am owed for you to come to me as a man or a woman and to right your wrong. Being humble for me is just, okay, I'll just let it slide because, and it's like, that's the mentality because I really don't want to stand firm on what I know, feel, and believe. And I'm like, where does that come from? A lot of it is childhood. A lot of it is trauma. A lot of it is, you know, being afraid of my parents. You know, sometimes, the older you get, when you're a child, whatever your parents tell you to do or how they feel is you believe that. And it's like you don't kind of, in a sense, rebuttal because you never want to come across as rude or disrespectful or ungrateful. And that followed me throughout my teenage years and my adulthood. I never wanted to rock the boat because I never wanted to be disrespectful. I never wanted to come across as ungrateful. So it's always been that mentality, like whatever somebody gives me, whatever somebody says, whatever somebody does, like I'm just grateful to have it. Or if somebody did this to me, maybe they didn't mean to do it. Maybe I'm looking at it in the wrong way. Maybe I took that too serious. Well, maybe they just had a bad day. It was just me always just making excuses for other people. I make the excuse, but every day I wake up and I think about that thing that they may have said and done. I replay it over in my head over and over and over again because in my mind I'm verbally saying, well, it's okay, like I get it, I understand, but internally I'm like, no, I don't get it. No, I don't understand. I can't find the reasons why you would have said or done or treated me that way. I can't pinpoint it. I cannot connect the dots. So why am I verbally saying one thing out of my mouth, but energetically and internally I am like, no, this doesn't feel good. So when we talk about being in alignment, right? Being in alignment is like trusting what you feel and being able to verbalize what you feel, as well as to acknowledge what you feel and to own what you feel. And to also like verbally let other people know, like, hey, this is what I feel. This is what is triggering me. This is what's hurting me. This is why I don't deal with you. This is why like standing on that, you know? So I'm learning so much on this trip here in Bali. Like today, it's May 7th. We have I think we're going to like some dinner and dance thing tonight, and then tomorrow we fly home, right? And just with flying home alone, it's like I'm kind of sad. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I really want to stay. I really want to stay. But the thing is, I may not I may not be able to stay here in Bali physically forever, but I can go home and create my own Bali experience. Like the things that I experienced here on this trip, I may have to pay a little bit more for it back home, but I'm willing to pay more for peace of mind and happiness. I was telling my homegirl Tania yesterday that all my entire life, I've never been 100% fully in. Yeah. And I know y'all like, what does that mean? That means for me, there have been certain things that I've done in my life, certain like little fun projects or things, business projects, that 100% 9 times out of 10 probably could have blew up overnight and probably could have been a sensation. Probably could be a celebrity right now with the things that I've done, like different podcasts and different like life coaching situations and things like that. Could have really, really, really been more, but haven't been more because I've only put like one foot in the water while the other was still there. Sometimes I feel like I didn't even put a full foot in the water, like maybe a toe. And I think what scared me so much was every time I see something and I'm like, okay, this could be good, whether if it is a relationship, a friendship, a choice in a job or a career or anything. It's like whenever I put my toe in the water, something or someone always leaves or abrupts. Like something happens like abruptly, right? Losing friendships, relationships not working, um, people saying, yeah, 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 I'm down, I'm down, I'm down, yeah, 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 yeah. But as soon as things get serious and the ball gets to rolling, like people leave, people just drop off. And it's just kind of like that makes me and made me so scared to fully be invested into anything. But I was telling my homegirl yesterday, so one thing that I can say that makes sense is every time I've put my toe halfway in or put a foot all the way in and people or things didn't work out or left, they may have left. Things may not have worked out, but there was still me. Like it was and still is me after all of those things. And that made me realize that I can't choose nor can I depend on other people to have the life and the success that I want. I could never understand why not having a gym partner always worked for me. Because I was like, I can't do a gym partner because other people slow you down. Other people break your focus. You're trying to focus on this and that and this and that and work on this, and they want to sit up and have a conversation with you in the gym while you're trying to work out. And it's like, we're here for business. Business should be business, right? And I never understood why like it never worked out for me. And it's like because there are just some things that people just don't need to be a part of. And I am the type of person where if I see something good or an opportunity, I'm always like, man, this could be good, man. This could be good, man. This could be good. And I try to bring people along. Like, hey, you want to do this with me? Like, hey, I think we can do really, really good. Let's get together. Let's work this. Because I'm always a team player. I am always a team player. I don't mind picking up the slack. I don't mind, okay, you're not going to be able to do this today. Okay, don't worry about it. I get it. Okay, well, just do what you can. Just do what you can. Like, I've always been the type of person to put more on me to make it easier for someone else. And then in the end, I still get burned. I still get burned. I don't get it. I don't understand. But I am learning and understanding now more and more how important it is to truly choose me. I I now understand why I have to put both feet in. I understand now why I truly have to be focused inward. Because when I connect from within, it will show on the outside. I can honestly say this, and normally I would be like in my feelings. I'd be so hurt. I'd be so depressed or so anything. Um, and this is where it's a little different. I suffer from body dysmorphia. If you all don't know what that is, it is like kind of in a sense like a mental illness or a mental disease where how you view yourself physically in the mirror um, can cause you to spiral. Weight gain, looking at other people's bodies and not loving your own, getting upset about gaining weight or too small or clothes not fitting a certain way, like being very, 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 um, what's the word? Hard on yourself for your physical appearance. And it could be the smallest thing. And I can say at the beginning of the year, I always try to do like a New Year's resolution. Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I told myself this year, I said, I'm not going to do a New Year's resolution, especially with the gym, because I always do this thing where it's like, at the first of the year, I'm going to go in the gym, I'm going to work out, I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, this year, I'm not doing that shit. I am just going to live and allow my body and my energy to tell me when, like, now is the time. It's time to get focused. And I came here on this Bali trip, and I've picked up a lot of weight. I'm pretty sure I'm like in the 200s. Yeah. Not ashamed at all. But since I've been here and I've looked around and seen people like, some people have nice bodies, some people don't. People don't care. Like, people are just living their life and their experiences and not worried about being judged. And it made me realize how hard I am on myself. And I'm like, yeah, I may be walking around, my stomach may be, I may have a pudge, I may be like thick in the face or thick around the thighs, I may look puffy and swollen, but guess what? Nobody's looking in my face here in Bali and like he gained weight or this and no, like nobody's caring. Like nobody cares about this stuff. And then even in the United States, certain group of people also don't care. But sometimes it could be the people that you hang around or the people that I may hang around. And I'm like, being here and eating food that's just fresh, no genetically modified, objects or anything in the food. Fresh guava juice, fresh pineapple juice, um, fresh mango juice, and peppermint teas and water. And I'm like, like the grilled vegetables here. Oh my God! Like really tasting good grilled vegetables and noodles and chicken. I'm so used to our like chicken in the U.S. being overly seasoned. It's like, oh, chicken really doesn't have to be done like that. Eating here and being here has now made me realize that when I get back home, I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready to completely change my diet. Ready to completely change the things that I purchase in the grocery store. Ready to really, really, really get to the gym and exercise and to work out and to have the body that feels and looks good to and for me. Yeah, I'm ready to go all in for myself. And I'm also ready to, I'm ready for it to just be me right now. I'm ready for it to just be me. And I watch a lot of vlogs and shout out to D Dames. I don't know if he's even gonna hear this, but man, D Dames, bro, watching you, listening to you, seeing how you live, man, you have completely changed my life, D Dames. Rakis Bowen. Rakis, you are Rakis, you are like so much to me. And I think I've never met you, Rakis, but it's like, man, you're powerful and you don't even know it. Phil Kofer, another gem. All men, all African American men that push themselves, that talk about life, that bet on themselves, that talk about not getting it right some days, that talk about getting it right on other days. People just keep it real, man, and it just showed that just being an African American male, man, it ain't always what it's cracked up to be, but you gotta push yourself. You gotta align yourself. Sometimes you have to have tunnel vision. You have to have the discipline. And what does discipline look like? Sometimes discipline may look like doing the same thing daily, but building the discipline and getting the results. Because you don't get results or good results when you're half in and you half ass do things. You get good results when you consistently do them, when you don't want to, but knowing that you need to. Because the results is what makes you happy. And it's like once you start to see results, that's what puts you in a position to be like, okay, now I see how this is working. Now I see why this is what it is for me. Okay, let me keep going. And there have been times where I've been on a journey, especially a health journey, like cutting certain things out. And at first it's like, okay, I got to get into this. I got to get into this. But then things start to move and things start to shift. And I'm like, okay, okay. And I get good and I get good and I get good. Then all of a sudden I stop. And I always have this conversation when I know that it's like, okay, I'm finna stop, I'm finna spiral and go backwards. And it's like I have this conversation in myself and in my head, like, okay, Jarrell, don't do this, you know this is gonna happen. And if it happens this time, it's gonna be worse than what it was before. And it's like I mentally tell myself those things. But I still choose otherwise. I'm like, I'll be all right. And I always end right back up where I started. And it's like sometimes I feel like it's even worse. So I'm like, Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And the reason why I always end up back there is just simply because I'm never 2 feet in. I'm never 10 toes down. I allow other people and other stuff and myself or what other people got going on to be an excuse. Trying to eat as clean as I need to eat, and someone invites me to go eat dinner, and I'm like, well, I'll just have a cheat meal, and the cheat meal turns into eating like that for weeks and weeks and weeks, like, but not knowing how to say, hey, yes, I'll go out to eat, but I'm going to eat something healthy. I'm going to eat something grilled, like fish or salmon or something like that. And it's like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I may be addicted to food because the unhealthy foods are so easy to desire and to want more of, you know? So I told y'all, like, this off the grid series is about me not only going off the grid with not being around certain people, entertaining certain things, social media breaks, um, food choices, exercise decisions, how I feed my mind, body, and soul. It's also about me going off the grid of doing things that, or having mindsets that no longer bring upon positive results. And I'm really excited about Off the Grid. Really excited. Really, really, really excited about this new chapter in my life. I'm not sure how long I'll be off the grid, right? Who knows? So, as it is now 3:56, almost 4 a.m., I am going to maybe do a little reading. I think the sun comes up here at about 6. So about maybe 5:30, 5:40ish, I'm probably just gonna go sit on the balcony and just think. Gonna do a little reading this morning as well, just to get balanced. And I'll be with y'all again for another segment of Off the Grid. Y'all be good.